Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Nerd Talk. We're light crew tonight, but that's okay because we got a lot going on.
We do.
Hopefully, we're waiting on a guest to get here now, and he is going to tell us all about the podcasting world. Chris Moses.
Awesome.
I hope he
I'm
makes
interested.
it. I know the weather outside is pretty frightful.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But the lights in here are delightful.
But the lights are delightful, and it's actually cool in here tonight because I loved all the rain we got today.
Yeah.
It helped studio cool out.
Oh, okay.
So, which is really cool.
Yep.
So I'm Boss Tech.
And I'm Lexi Confetti.
And in the back room, of course, switching is side cams. You sure? You positive?
I'm plugging stuff in.
He's I got audio out here, and I'm not supposed to. But there he is.
Hey,
He's
I'm here.
Got to turn that camera on. That's awesome, man.
It was unplugged in a location in which I didn't think it would be unplugged.
Yeah, that happened. So let's talk about
That's just life.
Lexi has actually got topics tonight.
Do.
Which is awesome.
It is.
Awesome.
I'm excited. I'm
Yep.
prepared. I did research
And look,
stuff.
I'm wearing my Daily Bugle shirt.
And I'm wearing
Which
my
is
Doctor
awesome.
Who shirt.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Okay, Bunny Trope. Doctor Who. We're getting a female Doctor Who.
We are. Jodie Whittaker. I believe she was in the show Broadchurch with David Tennant, who was the 10th Doctor. I haven't seen Broadchurch, but a lot of people who have seen her acting have said that she is amazing.
Now that's a weird show.
It is.
I have to say, I've tried to watch it a couple times. I never really got into it.
It takes watching it a couple of episodes and being interested in it to begin with. It's very dry British humor, and some of the earlier stuff, especially the old shows, are very low budget.
I'm used to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched Doctor Who. See, I remember the black and white Doctor Who.
Right.
So I was watching those as a kid, and then I was also I watched the Benny Hill show, which is not dry humor.
Right.
It's really out there humor. But we also, I watched all the other shows that were on. And I got it, but this one is just such. I'm struggling to kind of. I want to like it, but.
I started with Chris Eccleston, which was the 9th Doctor. He started back up in the early 2000s.
Right.
And I really enjoyed him. He was goofy and weird. And then they went to David Tennant, who is almost everybody's favorite. And then Matt Smith, and then Peter Capaldi. And I hated Peter Capaldi the first time I watched his first season. I absolutely hated him. I thought he was horrible. I loved Matt Smith. And then I rewatched his whole season, and I loved it. He grew on me. I appreciated the fact that he was such a different Doctor. Each Doctor has some major thing that happens, and that dictates how their character is.
Yeah, whether they're funny or they're super serious or they're
Yes,
risk
exactly.
takers or they're not risk takers.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there's
Fit. All right.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead and give up on that one. I was going to say philosophical, but
Or yes.
Yes.
And so now what? So
now we have a female playing
Okay.
the Doctor, and there are a lot of people who are really upset about it.
oh yeah, I mean social media blew up.
Oh yeah, that was
It's like,
crazy.
really? Come on. I mean, it's time.
And some people are really upset because they feel like Doctor Who is bowing to the gender pressure that society is dealing with right now. Some people are just, the Doctor's a man.
Lupe, what's up, buddy?
But Doctor, the word itself is not a gender word.
Right.
Doctor, lawyer, teacher, nurse, whatever. Those are not male or female professions. Those are everybody professions.
and the doctor itself has stated they can they choose the form they take.
Exactly. They choose to appear human, despite the fact that they have two hearts.
Human looking.
Exactly. They can look like whatever they want to. And then, I mean, look at the Master. He became Missy, and now he's the Master again.
Right.
And that's just a whole crazy thing. But I think that was getting everybody ready for the Doctor becoming a woman. There was a lot of speculation before they announced her that the Doctor was going to go back to a previous form, and that Tom Baker, I think, was one that they were pulling for him to retake over the role. Lots and lots of speculation. But
So,
I'm excited.
We have Lupe's watching. He's a friend of ours, and he's one of these kind of guys that is learning the craft of the video nerd world, which is kind of cool. And he says that he loves that the doctor is now a woman.
That's,
He
and
likes
there's
it.
a lot of people that really like it, and then there's a lot of people that really don't, and a lot of the people that don't are just, I don't like her because I don't like her because I don't. And
It's dumb.
It is. It's stupid. It's holding on to this bias that the doctor needs to be a man. Why does the doctor have to be a man? Who
That's
cares?
like me not liking Ben Affleck as Batman because I'm used to the other Batmans, but now the Ben Affleck Batman's grown on me.
Right.
Ben
And
Affleck's Batman's also pretty good, not gonna lie. Batfleck, I like Batfleck. I can dig it.
Batfleck.
Batfleck, yeah.
That's awesome.
Batfleck. Yeah, man, that's awesome. But anyway, so tell us about
Yes.
what you got.
So, Variety, the magazine.
Life.
Yeah, Spice of Life. Variety
No.
magazine website, whatever, has released what they call the Geek Power List. And I personally feel like there are a lot of names missing.
Okay, so why?
Who are some that you would Geek
Well,
Power
okay, but
current?
yeah, but I mean, for film, for
Well, I mean, I imagine you would
for
choose all
film,
of those.
TV, producer, director, guiding hand.
oh Lord have mercy.
Oh,
I couldn't even begin
you
to
said
say.
you said powerless, and I'm just thinking like, oh, like in strength. Oh, this is gonna be a
No,
this is
more
gonna be
like
a combat
royalty. Like, who's geek royalty right now? Current.
Stan Lee.
of 100%.
He is the
missing.
king.
He is missing from this
No,
list. That
come
was a name that I
on.
was
How can that
shocked
be?
to not see.
How can that? That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any
Wait,
sense.
but hold on,
this
we've-
magazine that did this is very much fashion and
Oh yeah, I
mainstream.
I pulled it up. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is and
So-
is this in order of their order, like number
This
one
is
to
their
number?
order, but I don't think that their order has anything to do with anything. I think they should have just gone alphabetical because they went all over the place.
Okay, so-
Kevin Feige is the ruler of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as they put it. So I'm assuming he's the producer of it. I didn't research these people. There's like 20 people on this list.
No, I can see from that side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of agree with that
Yeah, I agree with that.
because because he I have
Yeah,
to agree with that.
I would totally agree. Kathleen Kennedy is the head of Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
So she's kicking ass right now. Robert Downey Jr. I agree with that.
Yeah, I guess,
He's in a lot of,
but not over Stan Lee.
but this is geek, no, definitely not over Stanley. This is just geek in general. And Robert Downey Jr. has done so many movies that fit so many geeky genres.
You know what? We're right. We named that. Bree put it good earlier when she said, these like the kings and queens. Stanley's more of an entity. He's a god. He encircles everybody a little bit. Everybody
He
respects
really
him.
does. I'm really surprised he didn't make this list. The next is a combo of John Burge, Jeff Johns, and Diane Nelson, who made Wonder Woman. And they're only on this list because Wonder Woman is out right now and it's done phenomenally well.
So make sure you're watching the post because Lupe has a good question, and we're going to go back to that one. Keep
Okay.
going though.
Gal Gadot.
Gal
Gal
Gadot.
Gadot.
Okay.
Gadot.
Anthony and Joe
Yeah,
Russo.
I don't.
I don't think she is
I got to
yet.
figure out where they're so if they're coming from just a fashion side of it, I can kind of see some of these people.
They're picking.
But she's not. These are not superpowers in the geek world.
No, because
A couple of them are.
Yeah, a couple of them are, and I totally agree with a lot of these. But some of them, I'm just totally mind blown.
Yeah.
Anthony and Joe Russo are director brothers who did a lot of the Marvel movies.
Yeah. I can. Yes, I agree.
yeah,
absolutely.
totally agree with that.
That list they belong. They
Yes.
belong to absolutely. They should almost run it.
Oh yeah, George R.R. Martin, which is a given. He's awesome. Joss Whedon,
That's
who's
fair.
not super current. I'm not
I
super.
don't get what he was.
He's done a lot. He did what? Buffy. He did a lot of stuff, but not super current to me. Stephen King. I feel like he's up there with Stan Lee, though. He's like
Well, Joss Whedon or Josh Whedon?
Joss.
Joss? You mean like, the writer of the Avengers? Or the director of the Avengers?
Yeah, that one.
He's kind of important to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
He is.
Kind of he's kind of spearheading it. On top of that, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Batgirl,
Okay.
and,
Yep.
he's an additional writer on Justice League, so.
Okay.
He's pretty important.
He fits. Greg Berlanti, who does a lot of the DC shows on the CW.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
Totally agree with that.
Deadpool. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He
was the Green Lantern like ages ago.
Yeah, we don't talk.
I like
liked
okay.
him as the Green
I like the
Lantern.
green. I
He
like.
doesn't like him as the Green Lantern.
I don't care.
I liked him as the Green Lantern.
You two just like seeing him in a tight suit. All right, now
Wow.
listen.
Does anybody remember that he was married to Alanis Morissette? Everybody forgets that. He was married to her. And then they call these guys the Star Warriors, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Oscar Isaac.
Absolutely. Yes, they're pretty important as of right now as well.
Jeff Loeb is the head of Marvel TV.
Yep.
Robert Kirkman, who did Walking Dead, is doing Walking Dead.
Now, see, he needs to be, in my opinion, way up higher on the list, just
Well, I
because
don't-
I'm a Dead fan.
I agree. As I'm looking at this list right now, there's no like ordering to it, so it's,
No,
There's
it's
really
it's
not.
a mishmash of.
It is. J.J. Abrams.
Yes.
Yep.
Simon Kinberg is the X-Men producer.
Yeah, he can stop what he's doing, in my opinion.
He could have stopped a long time ago.
No.
though he
Ross
will oversee the Deadpool sequel.
Oh,
God.
that's right. I do remember seeing that. Matt and Ross Duffer, they did Stranger Things.
Yep.
Those guys are pretty cool.
They are.
Okay, I just gotten caught up on Stranger Things, and the first 2 or 3 when it first came out, I was watching it. I'm like, this is not for me.
Right.
I like it now.
I haven't
It's
watched
cool.
it yet.
We're getting a second season, and I'm kind of excited because the
Yeah.
art they showed, it's like some things can't be hidden behind a door, and I'm like, yeah, as it shows like a giant tentacle monster hidden in the clouds. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, you can't. There's no hiding him. He's not hiding in your closet.
That's
Nope.
awesome. Tom
Exactly.
Holland.
Yes, he is. Everyone currently has the hashtag Tom Holland man crush right now.
I don't know if I have a man crush.
He is easily my favorite Peter Parker, and I think he's a damn good Spider-Man.
Okay, so let's take a break.
Yeah,
went.
you want to rant on how he's not the best
No,
Spider-Man.
no, no,
I
no,
never
no,
visited
no,
the
no!
Spider-Man.
Stop! I went to see Spider-Man because everybody said it was so awesome. Now, as Spider-Man, I liked him.
Right.
I think he's the best Spider-Man we've had. I do have to say that. But as far as the movie itself, it was okay.
Right.
I'll buy it when it comes out. I'll do the digital download. I
Yeah.
won't bother to. But only time that when you see me buy the DVD, you know it was good.
Right.
I won't buy the DVD, but I'll do the digital download. I'll keep it in my iTunes, or
Yeah.
I'll keep it on or on Amazon, so I can watch it every now and then.
I want to see it. I'm interested in seeing it. Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, was what got me on the superhero, like the back of the bandwagon.
Yes,
because I
because-
wasn't real into superhero stuff when I was in
You were
high
kind of
school.
holding on to the back, holding off the
Yeah,
ledge
it's
of the
like,
trolley, going, I might get off here soon.
Yeah,
Like-
I just growing up, my mom raised my sister and I super girly
Yeah.
girl, and we weren't into that kind of stuff. But
I will defend Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
I like Tobey
Spider-Man
Maguire's
himself
Spider-Man.
was good. The first 2 movies were fantastic.
Yeah,
know
I
his
loved them.
Third movie was god awful.
Oh, it was-
Finger
Yeah.
guns needs to go away.
That was so bad.
yeah,
Oops.
This is the second time we got in trouble for that. This
I
time.
know.
Just to show
That's
off.
$1.
Like it's only been 15 minutes and you messed up twice on that.
My
though
beard's all messed up.
he
tonight.
did
Weird.
play, and I will 100% stand by the conversation I've had with other people. Tobey Maguire played an awful Peter Parker. Was not a good Peter Parker. Too old for the scene. You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
convince me that Tobey Maguire was 19 at the time. No,
No.
I'm not buying it.
but
I'm
that's movies. All movies are like that. An 18-year-old is
because-
played by a 30-year-old. That happens
not
all the
true.
time.
Current Tom Holland's only 19
True.
and
Yeah,
played a 15-year-old.
but yeah, he can play that 15-year-old
because he has a
Right.
baby face. He
he
can get away
is
with
such a
Yes.
tiny little dude.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
But and I like how they also didn't abuse the whole spider sense thing, which was really cool because that was something that kind of bothered me. Was in the first movie, Tobey Maguire was like, oh man, I've got bit and I've only had the whole thing for 2 days. I'm already super buff now through no training, no exercise, no nothing. I just went to bed. I woke up like this. He's like, oh yeah, and then I can dodge every punch known to man from the school bully. No, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
He
all of a sudden
he has
had
to
fighting
develop
skills.
that over time and develop how to use it. You know, even Superman as a kid had issues when he first came to Earth. It's wow, I hear everything, literally everything. This is awful.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree.
So okay, so let's go back to your list.
All right, so the
But
next,
anyway, go see Spider-Man.
Yes.
It's a good movie.
I know, too.
It's just
Lost Texas wrong. And that's fine. We're completely 100% allowed to
I'm
be
not always
wrong in
wrong,
America.
Victor. I just have a very opinionated self. That's just the way it is. I'm not saying don't go see it. I'm saying go see it.
And make your own opinion.
But yeah, make your own opinion. To me, it was just a little slow.
yeah.
There
I'll
was
have
some
to see
stuff
it. I'm
I just
hoping
think
this
they
week.
could have went and shortened the movie up. It'd have been so
Right.
much better and been awesome. But anyway, so who
All right,
else is on
so
the list?
next is Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo.
Guillermo.
Guillermo's awesome. Del Toro, man, that dude has come up with
Yes.
some
Oh, yeah.
monster movies.
I was like, I agree. Though
Yes.
Pacific Rim didn't do as well in the box office, despite the fact I loved it. I think
That was
the
a great
whole-
movie.
I
I'd say,
haven't seen that.
Really?
Yeah.
it's
Oh, that's an awesome movie.
fun fact. It's gonna get crossover with Godzilla.
Really?
Well, kaiju was what Godzilla was classified, and that's what they called them. Kaiju in Japanese
Right.
just
Yeah.
means giant monster.
Right.
And that was what they were designed for. The Pacific, the Jaegers fought Godzilla and the other kaiju.
Oh, that's right.
So those early
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
you see were basically like early Mothras and whatnot.
Right.
So it's a cool kind of deal. But, which actually that's, they just actually, it's a fun fact, San Diego Comic-Con, as we were talking about earlier, had just announced, Boyega. It's Finn from Star Wars. He is in the
Yes.
new Pacific Rim film.
Is it
Okay.
really?
Yes. Which is kind of cool. He's our Jaeger pilot. I think it's
That's
called
cool.
like Resistance or something like that. It was on the page here. I can jump back for half
My
a second.
dad said, I don't know what he's watching on, but he says all he sees is the Nerd Talk screenshot.
He's going to refresh it, that's all.
Yeah, let's say.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell him, but
Yeah.
it's not going through.
Here we go. Pacific Rim Uprising is what Boyega is currently headlining right now. So it's the new. I don't know if it's a movie or a series, but point being, I liked Pacific Rim. I'm excited for more of it,
I liked it.
and I would absolutely, in no doubt, I would not mind a second one.
Yeah, Lupe says that Del Toro needs to get back on Silent Hills. I
Absolutely.
was kind of hoping.
Well,
There we go.
it was a little slow to load, but
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, that's not episode 95. It's funny. I gotta fix that. I don't know why that comes up like
Actually, Lupe, to play devil's advocate to your thing, I don't know. I was rather disappointed with the last Silent Hill movie. As much fun as it was, it was okay. It wasn't fantastic.
that. It was all right.
I felt like they almost rushed it. It was trying to fit too much into one movie.
Right.
And they're like, oh man, we'll just go back and revisit this and revisit this and revisit this and bring up this old character and this old character. I'm kind of just like, okay, listen, you guys don't have to keep, giving me the old stuff back. You can just give me the current stuff. I'm okay with it. Don't worry.
Oh my.
New
Okay.
is okay.
So who else is on your list?
Next is Damon Lindelof, the creator of Lost, and he's making a Watchmen TV show.
Oh,
I'm excited for that. I liked that movie a
are they going to
lot.
reboot it? Go back to the beginning of all the characters?
I don't know. That would be
Watchmen is
interesting.
very, very rated R though.
Why?
So unless it's a Netflix series.
Oh, because of Dr.
I don't
yeah,
know.
man.
Dr. Manhattan does walk around in the nude, and he does, and Rorschach does execute people, and
Yeah, and I didn't
the
see where
language
it's
isn't
going to
very
be
good.
on.
Between
Yeah.
was it Owlman?
Rorschach.
Rorschach. I used to have his mask. It was really cool.
So do I.
If it's a Netflix series though, they can get away with a lot more of that. and
Or
that'd be fine.
HBO.
Or an HBO. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that'd be okay with
Yeah,
Yeah.
what was I watching? When I
Game of
first,
Thrones.
No, way before that. It was Gladiator. The Gladiator.
Rome?
No, it was the one where it was about the gladiators. It was golly, gee willikers, my mind is just gone. I can't think of nothing. Anyway, well, Spartacus.
Okay.
In the beginning of all the very beginning of the Spartacus series, one and good thing I'm okay with saying stuff like this. But the one thing, the one wealthy woman sent another wealthy woman this little short dude about this, but he was hung like this, and she goes, no one turns down a good cock. I was like, holy crap, that was awesome, and the guy was like, I'm like, dang. dang, dude, where'd they find you at? Some porn
Right? Probably.
thing going. It's like, dang,
That's crazy.
Even I'm like, yeah, I would say no to that. Just saying that's just way too big. Not that I've ever had that experience.
Anywho,
And if you do, that's up to you. That's all you have to say. But anyway, who's on the
So
list?
next on the list is Ryan Coogler, the new Black Panther.
No.
I'm not impressed with that yet.
They're just
it's
trying to
only
be PC
previews.
now.
I would
Yeah.
I would wait for the movie to come out
Exactly.
before I say whether I like whether I think he's a figurehead.
Is he the same actor that did Black Panther in the last movie?
Yeah.
I'm not
Where he-
actually
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's the same
It
guy.
is the same person?
It was
Okay.
well. It was in the guy. He was in the Civil War.
Yes. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it was. That's the
It's
same
the
guy.
same guy? Okay. Margaret Atwood is a writer. They call her a social science fiction writer. She wrote the book The Handmaid's Tale that just got turned into a Hulu show.
Yep.
And I know I've heard of her before. She's
have,
written
but I
other
don't-
stuff. I don't
yeah.
recognize where I recognize the name from. Denis Villeneuve is making the new Blade Runner movie. And he has a lot at stake. I don't think that he should be on this list
No.
until that
Until
movie
that movie
happens.
comes
He did a amazing movie called Arrival, which was very well done.
The new one.
They did talk about that.
Well, I mean, it came out I think a year ago.
Yeah.
A bunch of pods came down from space, and we'd learned from the aliens. And of course, people aren't very good at.
Because
communicating.
there was another movie called Arrival.
I'm sure there has been.
The
Arrival's
Arrival.
kind of just a word. It's a commonly used word too. But in the aspect, he rethought the word. He rethought how time worked, and how the aliens saw time versus how humans see it in a linear sense. They see it all at once.
like Time
so-
Lords.
Yeah, exactly. So there is no future and there is no present. There is only time, and time is just it's a circle. So, for example, she's spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. She remembers ahead of time to what she told the Chinese ambassador, and the Chinese ambassador told her what she had said to convince him not to start a war with the aliens.
Right.
Went back in time, got his personal phone, thought back to the current time, used the phone number she had that she had gotten from him, and called him and told him the same other things. And he's like, all right, we're not having a war, not doing it right now.
So the original Arrival was back in '96. Had Charlie Sheen, Lindsay Krause, Richard Schiff, I think it is, Ron Silver, Terry Polo, Phyllis Applegate, Leon Rippey, Hooker, is that Judd Hooker? Joe Hooker, Buddy Joe Hooker. And that was the one that I remember where he went to Mexico and finally got the big dish and the whole 9 yards, and they were...
Okay.
This
there's only
sounds very
two more.
overcomplicated. Sorry, Lupe. That's the way we do it. I overthink everything. That's my. That's my.
Well, he could also be talking. Oh, I agree. Lupe made a very good post. The new Castlevania series on Netflix. It's really good.
I have not seen it.
I've watched 2 episodes of it thanks to my friend's Netflix, and man, it is fantastic so far. I cannot wait to watch the remainder of it.
And did you see that the guy who did that is also making an Assassin's Creed anime?
I'm nervous about that one. Castlevania you can get away with. Castlevania is an older game. A lot of people really enjoyed the cutscenes from it and the characters from it. Problem being is if when they go to the anime, if they're going to take the Ubisoft route and go that storyline, or if they're going to go to the cinematic universe's storyline, which, as we know, with Michael Fassbender, which is really interesting.
Yeah, he said. Lupe said he wants to do the Metroid guys.
The Metro.
So-
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
So-
there's only 2 people left on the list.
Who's that?
Brian K. Vaughan is a comics writer,
Yeah.
and then
Also,
Chris.
he writes The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
He's
then
a good
Chris
guy.
Hardwick, the CEO of Nerdist, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
host
Absolutely
of
not. Chris
Talking
Hardwick's
Dead.
fantastic.
Chris Hardwick's awesome.
But there's a couple people I think are missing from this list.
Like who?
Chris Pratt,
Okay.
Chris Pine, and Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yes, and no.
I would give Will Smith for
No.
no,
No.
I guess not real current.
Not in our world.
But he did
ID4. Independence Day.
no, not that one.
I do.
The Aliens. Oh my gosh, my brain is not working today. Well, he was the super powerful guy just recently, well, like 5 years ago in that movie.
That was pretty bad.
It was really awful.
Hancock. Yeah.
That was
Hancock,
horrible.
yeah. No, Men in
was-
Black. Men in Black falls into our genre.
Current, no.
No, not
Old,
super
yes.
current.
Because the last Men in Black movie we got where he went back in time was a tearjerker at the end, kind of, but it
Yeah.
was kind of meh to be overall.
I liked the.
It was rinse and
guy.
repeat, and it was like it felt like the same.
I'm
thing
not saying I
over
don't like Will Smith.
Right,
But
but
I'm just not just.
But
not-
if they're going to put some of these other people on this list, then Will Smith fits there
I
too.
get.
Though-
There's some you can pull off there and put him
Oh,
on and
yeah.
take
I was
their
like,
place.
I completely
Oh,
agree
yeah.
with Chris Pratt and Chris Pine.
Yes.
Young Kirk and Star Lord. Yeah, you're kind of
Yeah, oh,
missing
yeah.
two rather important.
Yeah.
Oh, I would
And,
say where's Spock as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a.
And Karen Gillan is now Doctor Who and the new Jumanji movie and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, she's so I would
She's
think that
coming
this
up.
they
Yep.
just took a list of popular people that
They did.
heard of recently and kind of threw them on the list.
Yeah.
So you know what we're getting ready to do? We're getting ready. Dylan's getting ready to roll this cool little intro because I got some tech drop. Hey, Lupe, how dare you say that? A soap opera drama with occasional zombie.
That is absolutely 100% viable, true, and I stand by that statement.
You
100.
guys are so bad.
What was his question from earlier?
Yeah, we can go back to that. Yeah, hold on.
A dark freaking series. He wants to do.
The Doctor's Company.
Oh yes.
Companions will be the main. Will be where they go? Are they all going to be males?
Well,
To kind
the
of swap it, or-
companions are not always even human.
No, they're sometimes they're robots or the mechanical men's or whatever they are.
Cybermen?
Cybermen. Because remember in that one that he kept trying to go back and get the guy, and the guy he was turned into a Cyberman, right? Remember that one?
I don't know. Was it newer stuff or older? I haven't seen any of the older.
It's some of the newer ones. It's when they were on the ship and they were figuring out levels of the ship.
Oh,
They were coming up. They were going up each level, and they were getting rid of the humans and turning them into the.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the guys was his friend.
right.
Because that
There's-
crazy woman with the eyes, man.
Yeah.
She freaks me out.
I know that they released possibly because it's the internet, so it might not be true. A potential companion is going to be a guy, but the Doctor's companions can change all the time, and sometimes they have a companion who just hangs out for a couple of episodes.
Yes, they do.
And then they disappear and then go on their way and whatever. And another one that's missing from this list is John Barrowman, who
Okay.
he was in Doctor Who.
Yeah, let's do the Skyrim thing, and then we're gonna. Chris, I think our guest finally showed up. He
Awesome.
got hung up in traffic, so Dylan's gonna drop a little video for us real quick to cue this in, and then I'm gonna talk about Skyrim. Yeah, Boss Tech. No, though the Boss Tech drops, and then come right to me, and I'll stay on it for long enough. Fun fact, you didn't find it yet. don't you just love it when I throw him to the. It's like, hey, here's some sticks, fires. Here we go. We got audio? Yes, cool. So, all right, here we go. Okay, we've all seen it on Facebook. I don't know, Dylan's micing up our guest right now. So, we've all seen it on Facebook. They're called Skyrim. All right. So, I bought this thinking, you know what? We stream all over the place, and it's like, this will come in really handy. I don't have to use my phone no more.
I haven't seen it on Facebook. What is it?
Oh, really? Okay, though this is a global Wi-Fi hotspot,
Okay.
and it works anywhere except for cruise ships.
Okay.
Okay, you can boost it with other people's Wi-Fi, or you just use off of satellites, right?
Why does it not work on cruise ships?
Because there's those satellites are not orbital ready, I guess. I don't know. They just said it doesn't work. Okay. So anyway, so I got it. I tried to use it. Not super happy about it.
No, not impressed.
Even out inside the
was
best,
kinda
the inside, we were in a mall. And we were there to do an opening for a comic book store, and they didn't have great Wi-Fi, so we tried to use or they didn't have good internet. They thought they did. Everybody thinks they got good internet. That's just amazing. And so I figured, okay, I'll whip this out. I barely got 3G.
Wow.
But yet we had a tech there that had a phone, and he got 4G, and we streamed off of his 2 megs up, and it was just fine.
That's
So then I
crazy.
took it outside, figured, okay, I did something wrong,
Right.
and we'll just go outside. No, I still barely got 4G. No LTE,
crazy.
just 4G.
Wow.
So it cost $99. Cost $29. It cost $9.99 to get it to me quickly.
Do you have to pay monthly for it?
No, it's pay as you use.
Okay.
So if you use it, you got to pay for the day. It
Okay.
doesn't do by the use. It's daily,
Right.
or you can buy a week pass. Or I think it gives you a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay.
Or if you know you're going to use it a bunch of days in a row.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, I got it, and I'm gonna give it a couple more shots, and I'm gonna report back to everybody at home, going, okay, maybe I did something wrong.
Yeah.
And but I am kind of a geek. I do know how to use this technology,
Right.
and so I'm really hoping that I did something wrong.
I
So-
hope it ends up working.
Well, if not, it's $99, and I'll sell it to anybody for $59.99, half off, because maybe you can get it to work. But we'll keep trying it. But anyway, so that is my Boss Tech drop. Okay, so the next young man we got coming on, I see him over in the wings. He's a young man from Tampa. He's actually right from up the street from us in Tarpon Springs, but he's based out of Tampa. And what he has done is he has actually taken the podcast world and just rocked it. Okay, he's become the leading guy in Florida
That's
for
awesome.
podcasting and for information. And actually, to be honest with you, everywhere I go and everywhere I talk to people all over the country, they already know who he is. So what he did is he put together his own movie about podcasting called The Messengers. Now we have this video, so what we're going to do, we're going to roll this video real quick, and while this is rolling, we're going to reset the set and bring him on,
All
and
right.
we'll interview Chris. All right?
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, Jill, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yo, what's up? It's the one and only hip-hop gamer, Hot 97 from Brooklyn, New York. You already know what it is. The Messages was very inspiring to do a podcast audio only.
I'm Jessica Kupferman. I was briefly featured in the movie. I thought they did a beautiful, beautiful job. Just watching it makes me want to start so many more.
You can't really visualize a podcast. It's all audio, right? So this movie does a great job of actually visualizing for people who may not know. It's fantastic. I'm still losing my mind about the movie.
I am the Dr. Ellen, who is an avid Horse Radio Network listener. I knew about this movie way back in August, and I'm just so glad they're in my neck of the woods this time, and that I get to see them all in person.
The movie's great. I would just caution you, if you're going to watch the movie, be ready to come up with your own idea, because you will be sharing a message with somebody.
My initial reaction was inspiration. I just felt inspired being able to recognize the connection. You could really see the connection that everybody in the podcasting community has to one another and to what it is that they do, and you could feel that through the film. So it was a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling all up in here.
The movie makes me feel young again. I'm 55 freaking years old. It makes me feel like a baby again, that I can achieve anything and do anything.
This movie was made for someone like me, because now I want to show this to other people, and it really is true what they say. A lot of this stuff is so inspiring, and it just makes you understand that you have a voice too. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe I want to do one.
See this right here? Remember it. This is iconic. This is historic. This right here is the Bible for all you need visually to understand the power of your voice. I'm telling you, man, this right here will change your life. Go do it. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. Just do it. And then you holler at Godfrey later and say thank you. Peace.
Oh, nice. Hey,
Hi.
so we have Chris. Oh, Hold on. You would figure I lived in Tarpon for 19
You
years.
get it right eventually with these creepy
that I would be Chrismosis.
Kremitzos.
Yeah, see, I didn't do it.
Hey,
Actually,
close
I did
enough.
know
You
that.
tried.
I'm doing that on purpose because I'm trying to brawl. I'm trying to get yelled at online. Yeah, that's
I
it.
love it.
So Chris is the podcast, in my opinion, and I've known a lot of people, and I've been in this film in audio industry for a very long time, but when it comes to podcasts, brother, you are the king.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm definitely one of the leaders. That's
You are everywhere I go. There's not anywhere I go that someone says, "Oh yeah, I know Chris. I know Chris. Yeah, I know Chris. Yeah, you see this new movie?" I'm like, I was there when he unveiled it. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm saying, I'm not saying the whole thing, but I'm like, yeah. So
that's right. You were in Orlando.
That's
when we
right,
did
man.
the
Podcast.
initial first look, right? The
yeah,
first 30 minutes.
that was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell us how you got into the pod world and then the Messenger.
So in Tampa, I run a lot of groups. I run a lot of business development groups, and I've done over 1,700 meetups. And one of the meetups that we created was called E-Marketing Groups. It's one of the oldest, longest running meetups about internet marketing. Guy said, Steve Cherubino said, "I'd like to teach about podcasting." I said, "It's not that blog talk radio stuff, is it?" He said, "No, it's like iTunes, podcast." Great. This was August of 2013. He taught about it. It didn't take too long for me to understand the power of the medium. I launched my wife's show a couple months later. Then I helped launch 20, 30 different shows, and we started the first conference here in Florida. That thing grew. Now 4 years later, it's PodFest, one of the largest conferences in the world, really. One of the top two. Yeah. And the movie came out of these characters that I found. Like, one guy is the largest podcaster about horses. He does 80 shows a month.
Up in Ocala, right?
Has broken 7 figures in ad revenue. Another guy has the colon cancer podcast, stage 4, thriving, healthy. He gives a message out to other people. So we started finding these really unique characters. We have a girl that does the Sisters of Flow podcast. Let's cycle together.
Let's cycle together.
Oh, that's funny.
So long story short,
Hold on. Can you hear him? Okay.
Oh,
That's
the mic,
fine.
pro?
That's
Yeah, I
fine.
got it.
We want to make sure we hear you.
Oh, you're the man.
Everybody's watching you now. Yeah, here, let me.
I got it. So the main
Let me
thing,
fondle you.
yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything I can do for a guest.
Well, the main thing is we found these characters. We created this movie, The Messengers. We actually have a commemorative book, and it took us on a wild ride. We didn't realize we went to Guatemala, Puerto Rico, Los Angeles, all over Florida.
Cuba?
We didn't do Cuba. That
Okay.
was, I mean, it's just amazing. And luckily for us, Florida is one of the richest ecosystems of podcasters in the world.
Oh yeah, I mean we're concentrated. I mean, so I say we, right? So here's
No, it's a community. So
yeah, I know. I know. But
here.
here's what's going on. So we all know that. Well, I hope we all know. iTunes is where podcasting started.
Right.
That's the world we all. That was where it was. So 2002. Okay, I told my wife, who's a mortgage broker, you need to do a show. Oh no, I can't do a show. That's crazy. Blah blah blah. I said, where would I put it? I said, we're going to put it on iTunes. And she goes, well, how would we do it? I said, well, we'll film it, I'll edit it, we'll cut it, I'll compress it, and we'll throw it up, and we'll make a shot of it. No. But we did it anyway. So I got it on there. I've been putting video on iTunes since iTunes inception. And then iTunes, and they're very smart, said, hey, less video, more audio.
Yeah, audio, yeah.
Less room, our servers won't die.
Right.
You know,
It's easier for the people to create too.
because in the beginning we didn't house our videos. iTunes housed the videos.
Wow.
Remember? I don't know if you remember that or not, but
No, but it's amazing
it
that
was their servers.
you're one of the few people that have gone through that whole transition.
Yeah. So now what we did, because I've really been following you a lot, and I'm like, you know what? My wife has 297. Is it 297, Dylan? 296 episodes? Yeah. 260 something. Okay, and she's been doing it for 4 or 5 years. So, and I've always been video. So in the last month, Yeah, okay. So last month, we decided to MP3 stuff and put them up podcast. So we went to Pippa.io, which is a brand new a streaming service. We got in before they started charging, which is kind of cool. And put them up, and I think we put 5 shows up, 5 different shows, and we've already broke, I think, 200 downloads.
Yeah, I mean, the people are searching for the content, if you think about it.
They are.
Think about 200 people in a room. You get that just by putting it up there, searching for your specific content.
Yeah.
That's tough to come by.
Yeah. So tell me more about the message.
Well, the movie, you're very lucky. You're actually the first show I've been able to, and I've been on a lot, but to say that it's live on iTunes, it took us like 2 months to get approval as of last night. So you could pre-order it on iTunes. It's $5.99. But the cool part about it is some of the stories. We went to Key West. Christy Hauser, she has Team Podcast. She makes 6 figures editing podcasts within her first year. And she had an interesting story. She grew up in South Carolina. She is married to her wife, and they could not be out in the open because you could get fired as a teacher.
Yep.
And I said to her, when was this? She goes, like right now, it's still going on.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
okay, well that's I didn't realize it was going on. So she moved to the Keys, and because of the business that she started out of podcasting, she's able to live on the water. Her wife teaches in the Keys. They could go out in public and not worry about being outed, so called. So there's a lot of interesting stories, just a lot of really cool people. And the movie goes through a range. First, it goes into what is podcasting.
Right.
Why do you want to podcast? And too many people talk about the money, which we cover a little bit, but it's really about you want to connect with an audience. I mean, Nerd Talk, look how beautiful the set is. This is a lot of TLC, man. So that's what really, if you look at most podcasters, that's what the ones that do it and last.
Right.
It's a passion project. And it's okay that you could monetize, but they'll do it if there was money involved or not. They just love doing it.
You can talk to my wife. My wife will tell you in a heartbeat, if I was a multimillionaire,
you'd still be doing this.
I'd be doing this for free for anybody that wanted to walk through the doors. Just come in, we'll start a show.
Yeah, so that's what it's all about. That's right. When we were able to dissect, that's what we found. So now our goal is to get as many pre-orders as we can, because we'd like to premiere the movie #1 on iTunes when we release.
So we have a guy right now, Lupe. It says, "What was the name of the DP again? I forgot it. I saw you guys in Tampa at the filmmakers meetup. I was recording footage while at okay.
We had Neil Gilarte as our editor and filmmaker, and Willie Harper is another director of photography. We had a whole crew, really amazing guys.
Which one has the puppets?"
That's Willie Harper.
That dude is. I'm telling you,
that's who they're talking about.
He is talented. He is smart, good-looking kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he has these puppets.
Needles and scratch.
Needles and they're. I am a 51-year-old man sat there and was mesmerized by these puppets in the video that he made.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, oh, this should be in every household. Every household.
Jokes I could make about a simple old man
You
and puppets.
need to stop now.
Oh, it would be this. It would be the effort of just dropping this pen. It would just look 50 jokes right there. They're all laid out. It's almost like the pen written for me.
You tell he's my son.
No,
I know. Yeah, it's the respect I get. I know, man. And I got another one coming up behind him, who is a gamer stream.
Well, we featured one of the largest gaming shows in the world, Gamer Tag Radio, in the messengers.
No, really?
They beat 60 minutes for online downloads in June. They just got picked up as the official podcast for Twitch on their homepage.
Yeah. Okay.
Which will quadruple their numbers.
Yep. They need to talk about Nerd Talk.
Yeah,
We need to
listen,
have
I'll
them
connect
talk
you with
about
Danny.
Nerd Talk.
Danny loves this stuff.
We need to have them. Are they local?
He's out of Miami, but you could probably Skype him in if.
No, we use Zoom.
Zoom, whatever. Zoom.
Love Zoom.
Danny Pena, Gamer Tag Radio.
Gamer Tag Radio. Dylan will take care of that. He'll put that up. He goes, how long did it take to shoot the scenes needed to make the movie? How many takes, and was it scripted or storyboard?
Okay, so it's a documentary. We tried to create a storyboard, but then what happens is you record and the story kind of unravels. So I actually have some business friends, and we did a focus group on what should we call the the movie, and they all came up with a podcast documentary, which is very uninspiring. So my Neil Gillarte, my director and editor, said, why don't we do some interviews and let the name find us instead of us trying to focus group it with business people?
Yeah.
So then Lee Silverstein of the Colon Cancer podcast said, I asked him, what do you consider yourself? Because he's in his 50s. He's not necessarily a podcaster, but he has a message. He said, I consider myself a messenger, and I wish I had this message when I was told I had cancer. So we said, let's call this the messengers, because that's what you are. So every podcaster is. They have a message to their audience.
That's it.
And then we said, okay, the focus group people are right. Semicolon, a podcast documentary. So everybody wins. Because you do want to know what it is, right?
Yeah.
So it took us a year to film. We traveled all over the country. It took us about 60 days to edit it down. We had rough ideas, but if we were to do this again, we would actually be editing as we go along. We filmed and then edited after 1 terabyte of footage was compiled. So it was not an easy way that we did it, but we got it done.
That's the hard.
58-minute total running time.
58 minutes. That's beautiful.
Full feature-length movie.
That's one of our shows every day. God have mercy.
But as you know, with the movie, it's we went through hundreds of hours to condense down to like 1 minute.
I know.
We were recording the Horse Radio Network, my good friend Glenn, the geek up in Ocala. So we asked him if he could pour coffee. So what he did was he poured the coffee. We said, no, you need to do it like super slow. And it took us an hour to get this one scene of him pouring coffee, and he was getting really upset with us. Like, why do I need to pour coffee? It's like, listen, dude, we're trying to get this exact shot that you see in movies. You don't realize it, but it takes about an hour to get this 10-second shot. So.
Oh, we did a documentary. Not that I want to get off of the messages, but just real quick, we did a documentary of the 1960s bands. Flew out to San Francisco and literally interviewed Pete Sears from Hot Tuna, Jefferson Starship. We did Big Brother Joe, Uncle Joe. We did the Grateful Dead's original tour manager, and the now tour manager. And so we did this, and I know, it's
a lot of work.
4 cameras rolling at all times.
And we had a lot of emotion. We had a lot of people crying on film.
Yeah.
But the problem is you got to also have people laughing and funny stuff.
Yes.
So halfway through the production, we switched. We're looking for funny stuff.
So Lupe wants to know, why not go through Netflix or for distribution? Are you doing iTunes because it's podcaster friendly?
So the answer is Netflix does not pick you up unless you go through a third-party distributor, which we have. You cannot get on iTunes without a distributor.
Correct.
You can't be an independent and say, I want to put my movie.
Nope, you can't.
Podcasts, you can do whatever you want, very easy. But when it comes to movies, they want to deal with distributors. So we actually found a third-party distributor. We had 2 that were bidding for us out of LA. We went with one of them. And what we're doing is what's called a rolling launch. So we're going to launch on iTunes. Our goal is to get to #1. And that's when Netflix takes notice. Our ultimate goal is to be on Netflix, but you got to earn your way into Netflix. You can't just you can't knock on Netflix. They don't know who we are. We're independents. We're not
exactly.
We don't have an agent or anything.
There used to be you could go to Vegas or you go to Miami to the
shows.
NAPT, National Association of Producers and Television Producers, our executives, and you would pitch your shows.
Right.
We sold. I'm very proud to say, we sold 2 shows that way.
Nice.
Tampa Bay Multimedia was somebody else beforehand, and we produced Muscle Car Madness for almost 3 years. I think
that's
it was.
great.
And then we also did Extreme Golf, and that was
what's Extreme Golf?
That was a pitch to idea. What it was remember Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
Take Happy Gilmore and put it on steroids.
Really?
Oh yes, there was no such thing as a quiet gallery. So you're out there when you're teeing off, you got a gallery either
people yelling, air horns, yeah.
And we remember a few years back where there was the one golfer who was getting ready to tee off, and the naked woman run out of the gallery and hugged him.
Yeah.
Well, we had that happen too. So, but everybody was a character. So we had this Iranian guy.
Did you make a couple of shows out of that?
We actually filmed a 2-hour pilot that could technically be cut into 6 shows.
That's cool.
We took it out there, it got bought, and then they shelved it.
I've heard that.
That's what the problem with NAPT is you go in, you got great ideas.
It could get shelved.
And they'll pay you for them, but they shelve them. You know why? Because somebody's working on something.
Something, yeah.
So, but anyway, so go into the podcasting world. I mean, so tell me about the podcasting association that's in Florida.
So we actually have the largest active monthly group in the country called the Florida Podcasters Association, based right here in Tampa Bay, Florida. We meet the second Tuesday of every month from 6:30 to 8:30, and we get about 50 to 60 people. We have more podcasters that have monetized out of our group than any other group.
Right.
A lot of them are business people. I mean, you've met some of the contacts.
I know several of them. You got Sean Yesner.
Yeah.
You got Cash Flow Guys.
There you go. Yeah, you got Tyler Sheff. A lot in the real estate niche. A
Yeah.
lot in Medicare Nation. Diane Daniels. All things post. Neil with editing. So we have all these amazing niches, and we help each other, and we help people succeed. So we've outgrown the last 2 rooms we've been in. We might need to find one to hold 100 people, but we keep growing. We've been doing it now for almost 2 or 3 years. So it's just growing. For me, it's like what you do here. I like helping people.
Right.
We charge $10. You show up. There is no association fees. I just call it association because I want people to feel like a community, so they help each other out. So it's been an amazing ride.
There's an online with them, right?
Yeah, if you go to meetup.com, look up Florida Podcast Association or flawpod.org, FLAPOD.org, you'll get all the information, opt in, you'll get all the announcements.
Yeah, I think I've said for the last year and a half, I'm coming over.
Yeah, let me know when.
You know, I'm probably one of the only TBBO members that's never been to a TBBO.
Yeah. Well, you and maybe one other person, but yeah.
It's crazy for us. You know, and at nighttime is when our shows start.
Well, you and I are working on a weekly podcast right in downtown.
You want to talk about that? Go ahead, talk about that.
Yeah, so John and I were brought in by an attorney that in downtown Tampa wants us to do a live podcast, the Tampa Bay, we'll call it the Tampa Leader Cast or something, where we interview all the top business leaders in front of a live studio audience, streaming it live through the internet once a week.
Yep.
So we're testing it next week to see how it all goes.
Next Friday, 2 o'clock?
No, 11 to 2.
11 to 2.
In that time frame.
11 to 2. So just keep a watch out. It'll be on. We'll dual stream it as long as we have the bandwidth.
Yeah.
We'll put it on Facebook,
Yeah.
and then we'll put it on WeBeam TV on the front page. So,
That's awesome.
Okay, I've got another question from you. It goes, will you guys have a making of?
We actually already have a making of. We actually made a podcast about us making the movie while we were making the movie, which is very meta if you think about that. We're making a podcast documentary.
A podcast of a podcast being made.
If you go on iTunes and go to the podcast section, look up The Messengers, and you'll hear, I recorded us fighting. We had some really big fights. We fired our editor. That's all on record, us cursing at each other. Some are explicit, but it's all captured. My thing was total transparency. So we caught all the ugly moments. When you're dealing with creative, stuff happens. So check that out. And it's if you go to themessengersdoc.com, you could go to the podcast tab and listen to it.
So what's next?
We're going to make a Messengers Part 2 called The Growth of the Podcast Industry, because now we're about to go from hundreds of millions of ad dollars to billions over the next year in 2018, which will start overtaking radio. So I'm excited about that transition for me. And then focusing on PodFest, I want to make PodFest one of the largest conferences in the world.
Back in Orlando again?
Yeah, we're sticking with the Caribe Royale February 8th to 10th, and we're expecting 1,500 people this time out.
Nice.
Yeah, we already have people asking to buy tickets, and we're getting the website.
Are you going to be set in the same place, or are you going?
No, we're probably going to go into the convention center. Yeah, where we were was only 500 people. So
But let me tell you something.
It was a very vibrant audience.
By the time I was done, and I didn't expect to talk to anybody because we're the video world. I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
I literally, I was coming back.
Our vendors all said, we don't know how, but we got everybody was visiting out. We were incentivizing them too with maps and all kinds of stuff.
And I signed a lot. I was signing things I had no idea what I was signing. But I'm like, yeah, man, I'll sign it.
Yeah, and then
you want my autographs?
50% of the people that got those maps done won prizes. They won.
Oh, that's awesome.
All kinds of free equipment and iWatches and all kinds of stuff.
Well, let me know. I'll put something in next year.
Yeah.
Because I definitely want to be there. It was phenomenal. Well, dude, I'm just proud to say that I know you.
Dude, I'm glad to be at Nerd Talk, man. I'm in the headquarters. I did a little episode with you guys out there at PodFest, but this is great to be in the home base. This is a beautiful set.
Thank you. And actually, so everybody needs to stay tuned on WeBeam TV, because coming up next is Beer and Sunshine. And let me tell you, you think this is cool. That's cool.
What's Beer and Sunshine?
Beer and Sunshine. It's a great new show that is, well, it's not new. They've been around, but they've joined the WeBeam TV family for the last couple of months. They talk about the craft brew industry.
Oh, that's a nice topic.
And not only do they talk about the craft brewers, the actual location, but they also talk about the ones that are doing it out of their house, that have literally getting ready to burst.
The home
oh
brew
yeah,
guys,
the home
yeah.
brewer, man.
That's cool.
We've had a couple in here, and like we have, I think it's the Pasco County Brew Association, something that they come
And they're all
on.
doing good, right?
Yeah, and we are we're partnering up with them, and we're literally when they start, we're going to start doing on-site shows, which is kind of cool. But it's a really cool show. Now, Super Beard's not here tonight. I know he would have liked to see it because Comic Book 101's been doing pretty well.
There's the Brew Network out of San Fran is one of the oldest podcast networks.
Mm-hmm.
And when he started, he asked us, who do you think advertised on our networks? And we all said the craft breweries. He goes, no. And we go, why wouldn't they? He goes, they couldn't keep up with capacity, so why would they advertise? So his biggest problem is he couldn't get advertisers. But it was those home brew kits.
Yes.
That's what kept him afloat.
Right.
And then once it got competitive, they started putting ad dollars into his show. Isn't that crazy, though?
That is crazy. That is absolutely. But you know what? That's how it works. That's how it works. Once you get popular, everybody wants to be your
Yeah, it took him
friend.
about 5 years, and then he was about to quit, and that's when everything shifted.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build a home base for people to come in here, and even if they just want to do it, we have actually it's put away right now, but we actually have that little corner over there, and we do podcasts from right over there.
Nice.
We'll edit them. We'll shoot it. We'll give them one camera, and then let. So anyway, we are coming to the end of our show. Thanks for everybody watching. Go check out the messages on iTunes. Make sure you get it, you download it, you watch it, you share it. Tell everybody about it. Facebook it, Twitter it, Instagram it. I love it. You Tumblr it or whatever it is. Just get it out there. Thanks for watching. I am Boss Tech.
I am Lexi Confetti.
And this is
Chris. What's the last
No,
name, John?
I'm not Make sure you go check out the messengers. Make sure you watch us next week. Share the show, and we will see everybody next Friday night on
Except for
Nerd
me.
Talk. Nope, you won't be here.
I won't be
We'll
here.
be here. We'll see everybody later.
Bye.